You're lying right now, and you probably don't even know it. Sounds extreme, right? But before you click away, stick with me. Because by the end of this, you might see your own thoughts in a way you never have before. We all lie, not just to others, but to ourselves. We say we're fine when we're not. We say we'll start tomorrow, knowing we won't. We tell ourselves we're not scared, when deep down we're terrified. And here's the wild part. Sometimes we actually believe our own lies. Let me take you back. A few years ago, I found myself in this weird cycle. I kept saying, I'm doing my best. But my days were full of procrastination, scrolling, distractions, and guilt. Yet I convinced myself I was trying. One night, I just sat there completely still, realizing no one was lying to me, except me. Why do we do this? Why would we lie to ourselves? It starts with protection. The human brain evolved to help us survive, not to be accurate. And sometimes the truth feels dangerous. So we bend it, we sugarcoat it, we filter it, so we don't have to feel shame, guilt, or fear. It's not because we're weak. It's because, in a weird way, our brain is trying to help. Take a second and ask yourself, have you ever said, I'm just tired, when what you really meant was, I'm deeply unfulfilled? Have you told yourself, it's not the right time, when really, you were just afraid? These aren't flaws, they're defense mechanisms. Our mind builds a version of the truth we can live with. But that version, it's often holding us back. Let's talk about cognitive dissonance. It's that uncomfortable tension between what we believe and what we do. You believe health is important, but you keep skipping workouts. You say you want intimacy, but avoid vulnerable conversations. You want to be free, but stay stuck in the same patterns. So what happens? We twist the story to make it make sense. I had a long day. I deserve this. They just don't understand me. I'll do it when I feel more ready. The brain hates dissonance, so it creates stories to reduce that discomfort, even if it means lying to ourselves. Now here's the kicker. We often don't know we're doing it. Self-deception is subtle. It's not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it sounds like logic. Other times it looks like productivity. We tell ourselves we're working on it, but really, we're avoiding it. We say we're being patient, but actually, we're afraid to fail. We claim we're focused, but we're chasing low-risk, low-reward tasks to avoid real growth. So why do these lies feel so real? Because they're emotionally convenient. They let us feel safe while staying stuck. But here's the thing, growth lives on the other side of truth, not the convenient truth, the real one. Let's look at this from an evolutionary lens. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors had to navigate tribes, threats, and survival. Telling a lie about status, strength, or even identity could help you stay alive. Deception wasn't just strategy, it was survival. And that wiring, it's still in us. But now the threats are emotional, not physical, rejection, shame, failure. So we lie not to predators, but to ourselves. Here's where things get even more wild. We reward ourselves for it. Ever finish a task you didn't need to do just to feel productive? Or tell yourself you're okay staying in your comfort zone? Each time you do, your brain gets a little dopamine hit. It's like mental junk food. Satisfying in the moment, but empty in the long run. Let me give you a real-world story. A friend of mine kept saying he wanted to start a business. Every month he'd get excited, buy another course, build another website, but he never launched. He was always getting ready. When I asked why he hadn't made anything public, he said, I just want it to be perfect. But underneath that was fear. Fear of rejection. Fear that maybe he wasn't good enough. But instead of facing that, he built a believable lie. I'm just not ready yet. That's the danger of self-deception. The lies sound reasonable, they sound responsible, but they keep us from living fully. So, what do we do? How do we stop lying to ourselves? It starts with a single word: awareness. You can't fix a lie you don't know you're telling, so begin by noticing. Start listening to the way you talk to yourself. Catch the subtle phrases, I don't have time. I'm not a morning person. That's just how I am. Are those truths or habits of thought? Is that your voice or something you picked up from fear or trauma or someone else's opinion? Here's a simple practice. When you catch yourself making an excuse or delay, pause. Ask, what's the truth behind this? Not the polished truth, the raw one, even if it's uncomfortable, especially if it's uncomfortable. That's the doorway to transformation. You don't need to shame yourself for lying. You need to get curious, because self-honesty isn't about judgment. It's about clarity, and clarity creates power. When you see clearly, you choose wisely. One of the most powerful things I've ever heard was this: your life is a reflection of the stories you tell yourself and believe. So the real question is, what stories are you living in? Are they based on fear or truth, comfort or courage, avoidance or alignment? Let's be clear, facing the truth doesn't mean being hard on yourself. It means being real with yourself, compassionate, honest, grounded. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you do have to be willing to look, because when you tell yourself the truth, you get your power back. And from that place, you don't just grow, you evolve. If this hits something in you, good. That means you're ready, not to hustle harder, not to fake it till you make it, but to stop hiding from yourself. Because the version of you that you've been pretending not to see, that's the real you, waiting, ready.